bit. You kept Kawhi in, but you took James out. Was that because he was getting so going in that third quarter where he had 26 in the frame that you just got to let it ride out at that point?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Coach, everybody's going to look at the performance Kawhi had, but I think defensively, I asked you before the game, I just think you guys are flying around. Detroit 0 for 12 in the first half from 3. K didn't score. They just never looked comfortable. I know you look at K's numbers, he had the 27, but he never really looked comfortable throughout the game. Can you talk about what you've seen from your team over these last 4 games and why you guys are flying around defensively in the ways you guys weren't doing in the first 20-something games?
I think our new guys, are figuring it out. They're getting, our defensive foundation, that's one. And then, like I said, KD's been really good, point of attack defense all year. Kawhi's healthy. He's able to fly around, create steals. And Brook has done a great job just protecting at the rim. He's been up on pick and rolls, not allowing guys to get downhill. I thought in that third quarter, we kind of let K, get going. He's a tough cover anyway, but, he kind of got going early on. But overall, just, our guards being able to get into the basketball, our bigs being up, and then our rotations are flying around, getting to the shooters. I think we've done a great job with that. So, JVG and Dante have done a great job. Just every single day we get practice, just continue to just keep getting better defensively.
Ty, you said we need it when asked about Kawhi. Do you feel like he knows that right now? Because it seems like obviously the shot making is what it is, but it feels like there's an extra level of intentionality with him just in his overall aggression.
Yeah, I mean, finally getting healthy, finally be able to play, enough minutes, to be very, very effective. And so, when he's healthy, like I said, he's one of the top guys in the league, and so we'd be able to see that, as of late. And, understanding where we're at, what we're trying to get to and what we're trying to do. We're, in a huge hole, but just continue to keep stacking days and keep getting better each game. And so I thought we were able to do that tonight. Like I said, and Kawhi, he led the charge on that.
Coach, tonight, it's kind of the next man up mentality has been the motto all season. Nico Batum, 4 for 8 from the three-point line. Can you just talk about his three-point performance tonight?
Yeah, I mean, first half I thought Nico was huge. I might have ran out a little gas because he ain't played as many minutes in a while. But, the ball was moving, the ball was hopping. We were finding, the open guys, early in that first half, and he was the recipient of some of those open threes, And so when the ball's moving, the ball's hopping, everybody touches it and everybody gets shots, and he was able to knock down 4 in the first half.
Ty, kind of piggybacking a little bit on Joey's question, that intentionality, that urgency, do you feel like that was missing from, I guess, Kawhi and James early in the season, and it's now, as they're getting into form, like this is kind of what it has to be at this point?
Well, I thought, like I said, early on, injuries hurt us, with Bradley being out, Kawhi being out, then Bogey being out, not too far, the DJ being out. And then when Kawhi came back, he was on a minutes restriction. And so when your best player is playing limited minutes, under 30 minutes, and everybody else is playing 40 to 41 minutes, it's kind of hard to sustain offensively, and that's where we missed him the most. And so now with the minute restrictions off and be able to play 38 to 40 minutes every night, that really gives us a real chance every single night, offensively, and then defensively know what he can do as well.
Coach, Kawhi 55, but also 11 rebounds. Can you talk about, it seems like with Zoo out, his uptick in rebound, is that something you guys are kind of telling him to help crash a little more? Yeah,
talk to him and James both about, just doing it collectively. As a unit, we got to rebound the ball. We're missing 11.5 rebounds from Zoo, and our guys got to step up and, make contact and rebound the basketball. And so we had a good defensive game, so they missed a lot of shots, so it's going to be more offensive rebounds than other times. But, overall, I thought we did a good job, just, with their size, with their strength, just handling that, we did a pretty good job.
Coach, in this 4-game win streak, it hasn't been just any basketball teams you've beaten. You've beaten some really good teams. What has been the key, maybe before the game or during the game at half, that you've instilled into the guys to get wins against some really good basketball teams in this league?
Yeah, I mean, we all felt, beginning of the season, we were, a really good team, and then the injuries hit. And then, we lost some close games, we lost some games, and you kind of, get into a funk, where you just kind of, lose hope. Can we get over the hump? Can we get over the hump? Even when you play well, we wasn't able to get over the hump. And so I think in this win streak, like I said, the minute restrictions been lifted. Kawhi's able to play more minutes, I think, which is enabling James to be off the ball more, not wearing him down as much. And so he's been effective. And like I said, when Kawhi's playing at the elite level he's playing at, we're a different team. So Brook Lopez has been great. Like I said, Nico stepped in tonight for JC. He was good. And that's kind of been our mentality since I've been here, just, kind of next man up. But just early on in this season, we wasn't able to get over the hump. And it was, it was frustrating. But I think the guys see the formula, how we need to play, and what we need to do offensively.
Thank you.
Yeah.